How do you feel about debt? This is Dream and Thrive. How do you feel about debt?
Yes.
I'm sitting here. I am waiting. I need a 000. They finished, got me the 000.
Yeah.
Then the lady comes, and I think she was like, this guy must have come to some money or something.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you can take another. My people, I'm done. I am done. I am not taking this.
Oh, I believe in
good debt.
Good debt.
Okay.
Not that is good.
Okay.
In good debt. Because really, Marley, let's start from
we were
the
going
point
to
of
kill you. We were going to kill you on socials.
Wanjiko Wakemara would never even have gone into campus if it weren't for help.
Debt. Okay.
Let's start from there.
Okay,
What's your
exactly.
Fuliza limit, Marley? Ama uji Fuliza, you're like, what? What? Okay, fine.
Truth be told, Charlene, tumekuwa serious sana. It's been quite a lot. So for today,
Yes.
can we have fun?
Fun.
Yes.
And truth be told, Marley,
Yeah.
all work, no play makes the TBT podcast a dull show. So for today,
Correct.
we have gone to Lynette Chalo of the Financial Fitbit Consultancy and sought this educational and very interactive card game. It's called the Personal Finance Money Chart.
Yeah.
Are you ready to play, Marley?
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah.
But sasa tumepiga suti na hii. It was supposed to be a fun episode.
Oh, and by the way, guys, happy holidays.
Happy holidays from TBT Podcast.
Yay.
Have we done our introduction? My name is Marley Mtoto Mwanza.
Yes.
Welcome to the TBT Podcast today.
Yes. And I'm Marley's co-host. My name is Charlene Kimara. You may call me Mama Bima Kenya. Excited to be on this holiday season episode. Yes.
Nice. So we have questions.
Yes. Shoot.
Do you want to do like a peek?
I
A peek.
Shuffle a little
Yeah,
bit,
let me
maybe.
shuffle it a bit. So
Yes.
we peek. So the questions are arranged in different topics. There's wellness and wealth. There's reflect and manage. There's friends and money. We will get there. And then there's dreams and thrive.
Yes.
Dreams and thrive. Okay. Sawa. So pick. Choose one.
Okay. Let me go with the pink.
Okay.
So can I shoot the question?
Please do.
So Marley, have you ever experienced tension or strain in a friendship due to disagreements over money? How did you handle the situation?
Hey, that's gone direct to personal.
I know, right?
It's gone to-
Yes.
friends with money. I actually have.
Yes.
Okay, you go first. Let me manage my my story.
Yes. So now the thing with me, and I keep saying, I try to stay, like, I don't like being confrontational.
Yeah.
In maybe the most recent experience that I've gone through this, is someone who maybe not really a friend, but an acquaintance, and someone whom hatuwezi pitana kwa street. Okay. Of course, he came, borrowed X amount of money, and promised that within 2 months he would.
Yeah.
You know.
Be fun.
And that was what, in July.
Oh wow.
Yes. And to this date, no. So last Friday, I bumped into him, okay, in an industry sort of like quote unquote event.
Yeah.
And I remember because I was actually having a cup of tea, and alinishika mkono, and I could even just hear the trembling. So it was so sad in a way.
Yeah.
To be honest, what I do, if someone borrows money from me, by the time I'm saying yes, I can lend you this much, it's probably money that I've made
You've
peace
considered
with,
it gone.
that ikienda sitakuwa nimechomeka sana.
Yeah.
Okay. But like now in his case, in a way, when that happens, it really helps me, just know that at a future date, unfortunately, maybe if you were to approach me on the same grounds of borrowing, you see, if you are asking me, say, to contribute towards something, that's a whole nother scenario.
Yes.
I would. You know, I would contribute money. Maybe you're in need. I would do that without maybe expecting it back.
Yeah.
But when you borrow and you break your word,
Yeah.
because by the way, I'm kind of, I don't know how to chase after someone and ask them, nirudishe ile pesa yangu. You get? So for me, that's how my way of handling the situation is probably maybe not handling it, unfortunately so. But it's almost, I take the route of, you know, umenichoma. Next time we shall never discuss money matters.
And so, you know, I've just remembered one of my stories is I was thinking, you have this uncle, for example, who every time you see the call, you're like, this is money.
Besha.
This is something. And already you've made in my case I've already made a judgment that we will say hi, we'll talk, how is your family, how is everyone, but it will come to money. And or you that relationship becomes very hard. So you're wondering, how do you manage those situations? I've actually thought probably I need to even go ahead and plan for it. Why don't I plan for it? Why don't I plan the way I planned for my tithe, the way I plan for my household budget and my family and my parents? Why don't I plan for addressing some of these issues that will be there? So this time it will be me saying, hi, uncle. Actually, I was thinking about you and I have this 500 bob for you or 1,000 shillings for you. And I think that will help to avoid a lot of stress that comes from those strained relationships that are there. And you don't want to receive people's calls. Yeah.
Okay. You know, honestly, I know some people may be looking at us and they're thinking, because as we are talking from a point of reality, this is not the black and white way of looking at finances. And I think even our backgrounds really shape how we react to some of these things. Like I can tell you, Marley, my phone rings. You know those requests of, shiko ni mama nani, hatujakuwa na chakula. And to be honest, yes, I can be Mama Bima right now here in Nairobi, but I'm still that Shiko. By the time Mama Nani is picking that call to call me, tumetoka mbali sana.
Agreed.
So, and because maybe it's not something that's coming in every month, honestly, maybe it's every 3 months. I'm unable to turn my back against these people. Because, you even look at Ata Pale Nimefika, it's courtesy, it's your community. It may look like, yes, I'm an enabler. There's someone who told me that.
You're creating a dependency.
Someone told me that people who are empathetic and also manipulators? No, are actually manipulators. Oh my Lord, that hit me so hard. But I was like, no, that's not my intention.
They are the manipulators, not you.
No, they said empaths are actually manipulators.
Oh, okay.
I was like, huh?
That's a twist.
No, right?
Okay.
But honestly, I love the way you're saying that just planning for it. You know, always having a buffer. And that's why even the gentleman I was talking about, maybe when he asked for, say, that 20K, I looked at my finances and I knew, that 20K, I can part with it. And even the reasons why that he gave me for being in the hard place that he was at, it's something, that I had.
They were genuine.
And, it was very genuine. In this day and age, by the time Baba, a father, a man of the home is coming to really ask for that, I like to see it from... I don't play like Ati, the devil's advocate, and I'm looking at them and thinking,
they can be lying, they can be,
No, like I take your word for it, but sasa nikiona pia umeanza kunichenga 2 months down the line, hujanirudishia. We meet at an industry event, you even really avoid that conversation. I'm not one to bring it up, by the way, but I can tell from that handshake, I can tell.
There's trouble there. Finances.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we go to next.
So, game night, Marley. Don't you think this would be a really good game night for, families during this holiday season?
But I know we've said we are being fun, but this is also sensitive issues.
No, they're not. I think during the holiday whether we are drinking, ama tunakula kanyama, or we are playing Jenga, I think once in a while we can throw in a personal finance money chat.
Yeah.
Because these are topics that we really stay away from.
Yeah.
But I think they are good, even for couples to bond over.
I agreed. Now, last episode, we talked to Mr. Washira on trust funds, and he said one of the things you need to do is create a family vision, a family mission. And part of this can help with that quest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and communication. Go next.
But those, I hope I get an easier topic. Let's get an easier topic. Let's do wellness and wealth. This is wellness and wealth. It's in what ways do you think societal expectations or pressures around money contribute to mental health struggles? So in what ways do you think societal expectations or pressures around money contribute to mental health struggles? I have a good one here. Dating. This expectation that a man is supposed to pay for the dates.
Yes.
And we have this number of dates that should be there, whether it's in a committed relationship or exploring.
Yes.
There's we have to go for weekly date nights.
Yes.
What does that mean for the finances, and what does that mean for the man? So I think this really puts men under pressure to have mental health struggles, where I have to be the man, I have to provide, and I have to take out this lady, and it has to be this standard of a restaurant.
Radisson Blue.
Yeah, it has to be that way. So I agree. I think that's one of the ways, don't you?
But who are we dating? Now it takes us back to that, because let me tell you, Marley. I mean, we've gone through that, of course, right? When I met Baba Bima, the insurance guy, when I met Joe, I mean, we are age mates. We are just a few months apart. His birthday is in May, mine is in October, same year. So this is basically my age mate. Basically, you finished Campo around the same time. You're all trying to find your footing career-wise. You're both broke. I remember, by the way, we were both like properly broke. Probably I even had a little bit more money than him back then. And I remember our first date, we actually went to the museum. Yes, we went to the museum. Na tulichukua star bus. Ikatushukisha Museum Hill, and we walked into the museum. Yes, tukaona nyoka, by the way. And after that, we walked into town and went to GNR, and we had like our date now after, like what we ate was pancake and chai. I think that, and it was a very,
And you were very content. You were swept off your feet, Charlene.
Yes, and I liked this boy. And, by the way, and I used to be obsessed with GNR. Let me tell you, GNR have big pancakes. Let me tell you,
even the chapati is quite huge.
And their food is fresh.
Yeah.
So sometimes when it comes to, and right now, can we afford that maybe weekly date in a very nice restaurant? Yes, we can.
Yeah.
We've worked very hard. It's 9 years in. We've worked very hard to get here. So, of course, I feel that money pressures, especially on our young men, our younger men, is one of the leading, because when you listen to the statistics of even, say, suicide rates in Kenya, it's so disheartening when you just hear just how many men succumb to that.
To suicide,
And at the very heart of it, you may find that a huge chunk of those reasons, like money issues, are at the top of the reasons why people actually get to that point. So I keep saying, for dating, really, please, sitafute mtu mwenye mko ligi moja.
Mnaambatana.
Mnaambatana.
But unajua shida ni you start mkiambatana and then expectations change, and it becomes you have to deliver this for us to continue in this way. And you find, for me, the financial pressure on a man, from the start, from right off the bat, whether it is dating, whether it is family, whether it is relatives, it's always there. It's always, and you want to find this one person who doesn't put you in this box.
But looking at the other side of it, Mali, I keep looking at even like the new crop of women right now in society. Okay, let me talk of my friends, what I see even with my friends, you get. Most of my girlfriends, by the way, if they are dating a person whom they love, and they're on the same wavelength, it's by the pressure ni kidogo sana hata mtaenda tu mahali mkule nyama, like it doesn't have to be some
so there has to be that level of connection that helps the relationship so that it's not based on money.
Yes, and even honestly, and I hope I don't get backlash from my sisters on this, literally a lot of women nowadays are also willing, either to meet you halfway, you get. Okay. Like, I mean, this whole money issue, I doubt if it's such a big factor right now. Because right now we have 2-income households mostly.
Yeah.
You get. And both of you mnarauka.
So pesa yangu ni yetu ama pesa yako ni yako. That
by the way, I know we say it for fun that my money, your money is our money and mine is mine. I think we just say that in jest.
Okay.
But in honestly, practicality, if you come down to the homes, okay, I think it's a very 2-income kind of setup where both people actually chip in and without ati madharau or anything. I will mtu wako, it's your person, so you both want to try.
Having said that, I refer to our first episode. Actually, it was on the episode on maternity, and I challenged the men, and I would want to say that again today, that we do have a responsibility, a God-given responsibility as men, that despite what we go through, we are required to provide and to think about the financial future of our family. So the issues of insurance and the financial planning, education policies and such, I think we need to take charge and take lead. We might not be giving the full amount of money, you might not have that, but you're taking lead in that conversation, that it doesn't have to be the women going to the insurance agents asking on how we secure the future of our family. So I do think the men have a responsibility on that.
Okay. And I think also for our ladies, who may be out there and are just feeling, no, pesa yangu ni yangu. Let's be fairer to, to the boy child. I mean, they are already going through.
You have addressed.
No, for real. Like, the boy child already amefinyika sana.
Nice.
And I think the environment, whether you're talking of the economic environment, it's just challenging for every one of us out here. So I would say let's be fair. Most of us couple with age mates and all, we are facing the same, challenges day in, day out. I mean, I bring in my, my 10 bob, you bring in your 10, and it's a 20 bob pot that we can be able to do something significant together.
Okay. And we've not talked about black tax. We've not talked about the sandwich generation.
Yes.
where you are providing for your parents, you're providing for yourself, and you're providing for your family. I think that's a whole different scope.
Yes.
Okay.
So to the next one, I will go with Grow and Thrive.
Okay.
And by the way, Lynette, thank you for choosing out these cards. I mean, I love the detail that you went into getting this to life.
Yeah.
So this one asks, if you were given a significant sum of money to invest specifically in experiences rather than material possessions, what type of experiences would you invest in?
Travel.
Whoosh. Where are you going to?
Easy.
Where are you going
so there are these things that are called what do you call this? When you purchase an apartment or a hotel room, but for a certain number of days. There's a word, I've quickly forgotten it. But you don't purchase the whole. It's not yours for the whole year, for the whole lifetime. You purchase it for some number of days. So different hotels have that arrangement. So there are certain rooms that you will go and choose the room, and you own that room for between June 1st to June 10th.
Okay.
And that's a lifetime. So it's from some.
Oh, every year on June 1st to June 10th?
Every year it's yours.
Ooh.
Yeah, so for either for a lifetime or for a certain lease period. Yeah, so I will do that across the world.
Oh, wow.
By all means, I'll do that.
And where are you starting? Which is your first destination? And who are you traveling with?
Oh, very important.
That's an experience.
Very important.
Yes.
So mpoa lazima akue.
Mpoa, okay, good.
Mpoa lazima akue.
Yes.
I will do Istanbul.
Mm-hmm.
I will do Santorini.
Wow. I'm going to Santorini in February.
Eish,
Male,
sorry,
nikulete a magnet, fridge
Sorry,
magnet.
please. Mera staki. Kama siendi, kwani nani anaenda na wewe?
Usijali. We may just go. I may take you with me to Kashuti.
Yeah. We definitely need to do that. So yeah, that would be a dream destination.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind Switzerland. I do think it's quite a rich country, literally.
Yes.
And I want to visit there. Locally meaning Africa,
Yes.
I do think Mauritius is a good destination.
Yes.
And I would want to have that. So I would invest in several homes or apartments that I can own for that period.
Wow.
Yeah.
So speaking of experiences, I just turned 38 in October this year.
Okay.
And what my colleagues did for me, they booked for me a spa experience. Let me tell you, Mali. Hey! Watu Nairobi wanajua kujipenda.
Watu wanaishi vizuri.
Let me tell you, Mali. My spa experience started at about 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And I was at the spa up to about 4:30. Please, tell me.
Wow.
Paradise.
Massages for how long?
Ooh, let me tell you. So, honestly, in all honesty, I have never had such an experience. When you go to the spa for a small, one, two things, maybe every other month, full stop. But this time round, first, the ladies came for me from the parking lot. Let's start from there. And then she goes like, "Hi, are you Miss Charlene?" So I was there thinking, Miss Charlene.
Did they have placards?
Are you Miss Charlene? Then she's like, "Happy birthday," when I confirmed. And I was thinking, wow, you get into the spa.
Yeah.
And it just smelled like heaven. You're like, this must have been the smell that was in the Garden of Eden. Seriously, it must have been this pure. You sit down, they take your shoes and they give you some slip-ons, and they take your phone and your car keys and they go to sanitize them, and they bring you an infused tea with honey. And after that, you're taken to the nail parlor and your nails are done. Then after that, you're taken upstairs. Oh my God, from the steaming to the wrapping to the scrubbing, the wrap.
Ulikuwa
to
peke
the
yako?
massage. Yes. Okay, so you see, my colleague plus Baba Bima had purchased.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they had purchased this package for me. And it was costly. Me, by the I'm kind of cheap. Yeah, I was looking, I'm like 22,500. Like, keep
hata kama nasikia mzuri.
But let me tell you, I was on that bed and the lounge music was just playing. I was like, hata ningeitishwa 100 ningelipa. Aki Mungu moja. But it was such a nice experience.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I was like, Aki, if I get rich, I am treating everyone in that office. Tunafunga ofisi tukuje. Oh, it was such a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
One of those experiences, I felt that even the 22.5 that went into that, oh no, that deserved like 100K.
Yeah.
That was like a 100K experience. The other experience I would actually heavily invest in. And I hope my babies are listening to this. That team at Place is insurance agency, by the way. Now, Arusha kwa ndege tuende Dubai. Please don't even ask why Dubai. We have made fun of this for so long, the whole year.
Yeah.
We've been saying that when we get money, tunaingia kwa ndege, as we work in the morning up to about 11:30 Kenyan time.
Yeah.
Do you get? And then
Pesa ikuzoe.
tunaenda kwa desert sasa.
I think that's good.
I think the traveling, just seeing the world with, your friends, your community, younger people, because I got the opportunity of going to Dubai this year. And let me tell you, we did a drive from our hotel to now I believe the Marina Bay or something, where that evening we had a dinner on a cruise. It was my first time ever in Dubai, and I was seated in the van. I was seated now next to the dirisha. I mean, the window. By the way, the entire time I was like, wow. Like, wow.
You're owing and owing.
Ilikuwa mshamba London. Like, it was a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
I would just want, to have those experiences, with, my friends, my community.
I like that. And even for family, I know we do say this, my son, actually my daughter, she was like, her birthday is coming up.
Yes.
And I was asking her, so where do you want your birthday to be? I said, I'm going to Dubai. She's 5.
I know, right?
Like, who is taking you to Dubai? She is 5.
Yes.
So my brother happens to live in Dubai. And
yes.
that's for her. It only made sense.
Yes.
That we are going to visit. We are going to visit Uncle. We are going to for my birthday in Dubai. Yeah. And what I'm hearing now, and I'm trying to also get my mind out of that, is very quickly I was defensive when she said that. I'm like, no, it's expensive. Yes. We don't have to do that. Yes. We can, but I'm thinking, I can actually allow myself to dream and allow my children to dream and take advantage of these opportunities. And if well planned, you achieve so many of these things.
Of course.
If well planned, you save money properly and invest in experiences. So last one for me, cruise.
Yes.
Cruise. It's on my bucket list.
Yes.
I have to do this.
Yes.
And it has to be very soon.
Yes.
I would want to just be in the sea.
Yes.
For 7 days straight, minimum. I'm not seeing land. I'm not seeing. It is water and the people that I'm with.
Yes.
I want to do that.
For our 40th with my girlfriends, we are actually doing a cruise. So Karo Nganga. Karo, your health coach. Flo Karo. Hakuna kuniruka. We are actually doing a cruise for our 40th.
Okay.
Yes.
Mimi ni bebe tu hapo kando.
I know, right?
Yeah. Bebe tu hapo kando.
I think you go next.
Okay.
You see, it's not all boring. I mean, you get to dream even when you're doing this with your friends, your cousins, whoever you're playing the game with. I mean, this card game is definitely worth having.
For sure.
Yes.
The next one is reflect and manage. How were financial matters handled in your family growing up? And how has it influenced your approach to money?
Yes.
So for me,
yeah,
my parents were very, very. Can I say my mom in particular?
Yes.
My mom loves life. Loves the good things of this life. She would plan from 2 years back that she's going to buy this fridge, and she'd rather stay without a fridge.
Yes.
Until she gets the perfect fridge.
Yes.
And that would go for sofas, for beds, for anything, basically. So she loved the good things of this life. So I think that has influenced who I am today. I want to appreciate the nice things. When I shop, I'm not just shopping. If it's shoes, it's not just shoes for me. If it's a suit, it has to meet these particular standards.
Henry.
It has to be something. If I'm going for a suit, it has to be a good suit.
Yes.
I have to look the part. And I think that I got really from my parents. And it was about doing the best. It was not just buying, just getting by. It was about getting the best. So I see that still in play in my life.
Okay. Oh my Lord. That's a hard question for me because I don't even think we had any financial matters in my home. Like I grew up maybe in the opposite of that. Like there was too much lack. And I don't mean L-U-C-K, I mean L-A-C-K. Like there was no money. Like literally there was nothing. Okay. There was literally nothing. Yeah. And I think what that has done to the grown-up me, I don't know if, I wouldn't want to say like, it really pushes me to look for this money that
it's a motivator.
Like I will be there, at midnight still responding to a query from a client or 4 a.m, or you get like, for me, because of that lack, like my biggest fear in life is probably poverty. Do you get like I fear because I know what that is like, So I would say, but anyway, the truth is, because of coming from that point of having nothing, maybe also I'm not too scared of even taking risks in a way, and I don't know if this makes sense. Like I remember,
whichever way you'd go back to default settings.
You know, like I remember, like even when I was leaving formal employment, and everyone thought I was mad. Like, how do you leave a salaried job with good benefits and an income that's almost at 200K to go become what? An insurance agent? Like, who does that? You get? But I think for me, it was like, you know, we will adjust. You know, at a hapa, Mimi na Baba Bima will just adjust until I can bounce back and all. But I think coming from that point of having nothing and seeing yourself also maybe build to something, but it feels like now you are just like, you know, this question asked about how financial matters were handled. Yeah. Honestly, my mind is a blur.
On that side.
Because we grew up not asking for anything. Do you get? Like, we grew up not asking for anything because deep down you knew there was literally nothing your parents could do. But now, as a mom, now what that translates to is maybe you end up being an overprovider. Like you overly do things. You go, your habits for even shopping. Like if you looked at my grocery cart, you may think maybe I have like 10 children in my house.
You just want to make sure there's nothing lacking.
Because you grew up with so much, like you now want an overabundance of things. But honestly, but I think this is when now I'm maybe setting the tone of what financial matters and habits
do. Okay, I've just remembered the beat of risk.
Yeah.
I think ours was in the flip side. My parents were risk takers, not from a point of abundance, but from a point of, Marley, you are going to study in China. Okay, we don't have that money, but you're going.
You're going.
The faith is you're going.
Yes, love that.
When are you going again? 2 months from now. Sawa. Okay, and they will go. And I know, in my mind, I know there's not much, but they have the faith, they have the desire and the risk, they're taking it. And we'll talk to a few people here and there. And lo and behold, Marley is in China studying.
Love it. I love your parents. I am your parents now with my daughter. Mimi, my dreams when I lock in. Yeah. Even if it's like a small kadudu, I'm taking my baby and msafara into the school is just guzzlers and guzzlers. Yes. All I know is I will work so hard
to get there,
to ensure that by the next time, me and Baba Bima, when we put our coins together, school fee melipa.
And to come to think of it, that has influenced a lot of who I am now, even with my financial situations and my status. It's always, there's nothing too big. Yeah. Like, let's go for that. If that's what you want. Yes. Truth is, right now, truth be told, right now, Atuna, but we are going to work for this. Yes. So I do think that really helped me.
Okay. Love that. Love that. Okay, so I just picked friends and money again.
Okay.
Oof. What are your expectations regarding splitting bills? Guys, you can see why you need this card. What are your expectations regarding splitting bills or expenses when socializing with friends? How do you communicate these expectations? So, I am a mother hen, for sure. Mine is very simple. Marafiki zangu, I don't have a million friends. So, my friends and I tunajuana properly.
Yes.
Properly.
Wanajua mfuko yako, unajua yao.
Yes.
Okay.
So kuna yule rafiki, when we get into a place, I can eat to my heart's feel. And just look at her as she pays. Yeah. And she can do the same with me. Yeah. There's also the friend whom I will probably never allow to pick the tab.
Okay.
You get? Unless maybe she's treating me for my birthday. Because, because let me tell you something, Marley. I have seen people, castigating their friends, on the premise of, this friend just takes advantage of me. When I go, So one, I'm too busy. I'm not forever in some place hanging out with my friends. And anyway, I'm not in some bar taking buying mzinga and then the bill is on me. I don't even do that. The most you do is maybe drink Fanta water and maybe a milkshake or something, or some sparkling water.
Mzinga Del Monte.
Yes, Mzinga Del Monte. So it will never break bank, to be honest. But just deep down, there is no way, if my friend, for example, used, say, AMA3 to come to where we are meeting, and I drove into that place, there's no way they'll pick that tab. Please. No. We only rafiki yangu, and probably even by the time either tunatoka hapo, as we go home, I'll even pick up, the tab for their Uber and all. Also, age is the other factor. Because I do have many young friends. I do not care whether you ask in FSD, Africa, CG World Bank,
the bill is yours.
Whether tumeenda GNR, wherever we have gone. By the way, whichever place we are meeting, whether it's CJ's, it's Java, whatever. If you're younger than me, do you get?
You're getting the bill.
I will pick that up. So, and I think it's something...
Actually, on that note, because I do see this in corporate a lot, the boss, if you're a manager, you've gone out with your staff, like the onus is on you.
Yes, to pick the tab.
Whether it is implied
that
the onus is on you to pick the tab. And it will be on request, like, we are drinking this, mdosi tunakunywa hii, tunakunywa hii. And what you find is mdosi will take off very early.
yes. Because afunge bill hapo,
because if you stay long, then your pockets are drying up.
Let me tell you something. The other day I asked one of my for one of the companies that I distribute life insurance for, I asked the head of the agency to breakfast. I just wanted to have breakfast with her, and I could see the shock because I picked the tab, because I think she expected
the other way around. Yes.
But come on, no.
Actually, on that note, insurance.
I asked her out for breakfast.
Yeah.
I asked her out for breakfast. Do you get?
Yeah.
And yes, she came in with a gaslight, but that was my meeting. Like that was my. I just wanted us to have a meal. It wasn't even to discuss any business. I was actually bringing her because I had traveled to Ghana not so long before that. So I had purchased. She had sent me to buy some items for her. Okay, I was finally now delivering the items to her, and I felt, why don't we have breakfast and then I give you the items. So I mean, for me, it really depends. On another day, probably she called me.
it will be the other way around. So basically, what you're saying is that it can be planned. It can be spoken up front that this is what we are going to do. We are going to bar X, Y, Z, or we are going to restaurant 1, 2, 3. And the bill will be like this, and the expectation. So we can communicate the expectation very clearly from the word go. Because there are times when I'm expected to take the bill, but someone else picks the bill. I've had a date where the bill is paid for me.
By the girl?
Yeah.
Oof.
So
good girl.
Keep her. I've had such a situation. So, and it's okay. But the expectation of communication needs to be done. So that it's not just heavily falling on one side. Yeah. Particularly in insurance, I think we've had those situations where insurance underwriters, those are the insurance companies, are expected to take out or pay the bills when it is interactions with the insurance agents or the insurance brokers, which I don't ascribe to because I have a friend broker. I have a friend agent, Charlene. We can actually have lunch and Charlene pays.
But I think the expectation is you are on the company's card. You get, because in a way to spoiliwa, by the way. Mimi, when Monica Masharia takes me for lunch, she just, even like the other day, Monica actually of ICA Lion Trust Company, she took me for lunch. We were there with, oh my Lord, Joe, I'm sorry, with Baba Bima. And Joe was going to pay, and then she's like, "No, I'll."
But the fact that he was willing to pay, that my problem is the expectation that it always is and should be that it's one way, one-sided. Okay.
No. But it's because we are expecting, Marley, if you ask me for lunch on the capacity,
of my employer.
Of your employer. Tumeenda
Yeah.
kuongea kazi, my friend. Nitakuangalia kwanza. I see if you're gravitating towards your wallet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we've done that on justice. So how do you communicate these expectations?
For me, it's almost like an unwritten rule, really.
Okay.
Especially now, going back to my friends, there are some things that we don't, when the bill
So if
comes.
you're older, if you are the boss,
Yes.
or wealthier, if that's,
Yeah.
the expectation is that you
Yes,
take the bill.
I'll even be the one to ask for the bill.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll, beckon for the bill.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. So, oh no, that was me. I picked that, Marley.
Okay.
So
This
you
was
go
me.
next.
Okay.
You
So,
go next. And you see, guys, this is why you need this card game. Is really educational and interactive, if you ask me. I think, can you imagine being there with your cousins, with your siblings, and you are having these conversations with your friends, it just makes money speak way more engaging, way more fun. And you can get this from the Financial Fitbit. And this is not a paid ad. We just love her for her work.
Yeah, and it speaks to what we are trying to do here anyway. So this one is Dream and Thrive.
Yes.
Can you pinpoint a specific moment or event that made you realize the importance of actively preparing for retirement?
Oof.
Yeah, this I have, and it's very recent actually. Should be like 4 months, 3-4 months ago. I was watching a YouTube video
Yes.
done by what's his name? This CEO of
Zero.
Saiton, is it? No, it's
Dande?
not. It's not Saiton.
Nabo.
Nabo.
Mushiri, please.
Yes. And he spoke about retirement.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, wow.
I've never had it spoken.
Because I've always thought of retirement as then
Yes.
and after it is going to come.
Yes.
And I didn't think of retirement as the actual moving away from the role or the current occupation that I have
Yes.
to something else, to now doing what my purpose is. Oh, I was like, it's like, so if that's the case,
Yes.
then my planning for retirement is very soon. It's extremely soon. If my goal is to get out of my current situation or my current employment situation to actually doing what I value, what is my purpose in life, then it should come very quickly.
Yes.
So for me, retirement changed to not the age,
Yes.
not 60, not
Yeah.
65,
Yeah.
to this point where I will get to do what I love. So when is that? How do I prepare for that? If it's 5 years to come, how serious am I about my finances now?
Yes.
And I realize, I need to do a lot of things because in 5 years, I plan when I'm 40
Yes.
that I will have settled into something that I love, something that I can do for free.
Yes.
And I have money enough
Yes.
to back me up or back my lifestyle
Yes.
all along.
Do you follow Kenyan on Fire on Instagram?
No.
Because you need to. Because
Okay.
that is all she lives, So Kenyan on Fire. So anonymous. She's anonymous. We don't know who is really behind the brand. But I can tell you, I call her Kof. She was one of the people who shook me into the reality because she is pursuing the fire. She's in the FIRE movement. And FIRE just means financially independent and retiring early. Okay, so she's working towards her FI number, that number that she can hit, and it will be enough to earn her enough passive income, for her to no longer need to walk into an office.
Nice.
Because she will be able to, meet all her expenses just from her passive income. So I love that. I think so. Kof for me is one of the people who, every time I see her on my timeline, I'm like, okay, Charlene, retirement is coming. Retirement is coming very soon. But let me give you an example because I do sell a lot of retirement solutions. And this one time, I was helping a gentleman who was retiring. And you see, one of the options that you have when you're retiring, you'll either buy an annuity or you'll buy an income drawdown.
Yes.
So we settled on an annuity for him. But at the point where we were purchasing the annuity, and the time the first payout was supposed to roll out, and at the point where now we submitted the request for the annuity, he was not going to get an income from his employer that last month of being like in at work.
Yeah.
And I could remember, like I could see like the fear. You know, he's like, Charlene, if I don't have
For that 1 month.
yes, kitaumana.
Yeah.
So and anyway, it's something that shaped me going forward.
Yeah.
I learned to really lobby for all my clients. Kama tunanunua annuity, as long as it's like before the 15th, ama the 10th, you pay my clients from this month. We expect our first annuity payout this month. Yeah. But other than that, I remember one of the requests, because anyway, we had become friends, and that group, there were many people who are retiring around the same time. So walikuwa wananipe clients here and there. I remember he even requested that me and my money habits, by the way, I lent him 20K. He was going to buy, I think, a cow. Okay. You get, and you know what that cow is called?
Charlene.
Yes. That cow was named Charlene. But it's getting to that point of.
Okay.
And he was such a
I hope he's giving you some milk every
he was
day
such
or so.
a standout guy. Yeah. He refunded my 20K right on time. I loved that about him. But I think just seeing that quote unquote like insecurity of if I don't, if my income does not come even just for 1 month, I have zero ways of managing. Yeah. So I think, you know, sometimes when you see that, you know, you can say that's maybe the beauty of maybe youth. Because at that point, I was probably your age at that time, you know, maybe in my mid-30s. So unamka. And you realize, by the way, Charlene, there's just so much that you need to do and be serious with your retirement planning. Because at retirement, you want to be way more liquid, you know. You want to have different sources, you know, of passive income. You want that annuity or even maybe a mix of an annuity and an income drawdown. You want to have this maybe wealth that you're liquidating and putting in a bond so that it can give you some passive income. And I think if we just plan for this, it is possible.
It all comes down to planning. It all comes down to planning. And what are you planning for, really? What is that you're planning for? So when you say you're retiring, what does that look like? How am I going to be behaving? What is my income going to be like? Am I going to be traveling? Am I going to be going to my grandchildren? What is that? So that work backwards, then I think you can get that. We can do an episode on retirement.
Yes, we need to do something on retirement planning to shtusha watu as we are starting 2025.
We need to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
The questions we're responding to, these were picked by the lovely Happy who supports us here at the podcast. These cards, the deck of cards is like in hundreds, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
like they're
quite a number.
You cannot exhaust the conversations that are in this money chat game. So the next one is on reflect and manage. So Marley, imagine you're mentoring someone who is just starting their career and earning their first steady income. What advice would you give them?
I'm at that age where I can be a mentor now.
Yes.
Okay. So it's their first salary. What advice am I giving them?
Yes, first
buy a
steady
car,
income.
buy clothes. No,
Yes.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
What advice? And it's something that I have wished. You know, we are at that age. There's this meme that keeps going around that once you hit 30, you're no longer saying my background, poor background. You are the background.
You are the background.
And I'm thinking that's what I can actually advise my siblings right now as they're starting that save. Yeah. That's number one. It might seem the money is very little, but you need to save. Save whatever it is, whatever amount that is, please save. Advisable 10-20% of whatever you're earning, but you have to have some saving.
Yes.
and the compounding impact of it, if within the short span of my knowledge about saving, I've been able to accrue the amount that I have, then I'm thinking if I started this at 24, 25, I'll be on another level.
Yes.
And if you start small in saving, then as you grow, because you will definitely grow. If you're earning 20,000 now, you will be earning 200 in no time.
Yes.
If I can save on 20, I will save on
the 200.
On the 200.
Love that.
And there is a biblical aspect to it. You look at the ant, the Bible says they keep in summer so that when winter comes, there's something. So there's the aspect of saving, and the other bit, because for me this is important, tithing. And tithing for me is about creating the habit. It's about creating the habit of knowing that this is not mine. This I have been given. I'm a steward, and I'm therefore able to give back. That in itself, once you have those two principles, then your spending, your buying of investments, you're going out for sherehes and all that will have a very good foundation that I'm settled on. So that I would want to do.
I love that. And I mean, I don't want to just repeat that, because anyway, even me, my first thing would have been save. Whether you're saving for retirement, just save.
Whatever it is.
Emergency fund, just start saving. But even before that, like budget. I know sometimes it feels tedious. Sometimes it feels like, why are you boring me with this whole writing where my money is going to? Please, please, please. For clarity's sake. You get. I know a lot of us say, I know where my money goes, but just write it out. Do that for, track those expenses for some 3 months and 4 months and go back and look at it. And why it's very important to do that, Marley, is because once you build that discipline, once you build that financial muscle where you have gotten your basics of financial wellness right, even at a 1 million income, you will still get it right.
It will be easy, So I've just thought about something, and we were discussing this. The Gen Zs in the work environment right now, very different. And the difference is in this way. Between me and Charlene, we might not know, and because we are millennials and the afters, we might not know how much we earn. I might not know how much you earn. We might be working in the same environment, same company, same department, but there's such secrecy when it comes to how much we are earning. On the flip side, the Gen Zs are very open about it. So they're like, and one of my friends was telling me that they had a problem in their office because they had employed, salary ranges keep changing. So this year it was different, the next year it was different. Now the Gen Zs that were employed in the next year had a higher income doing the same job. So in their discussions, it came up. And they were at the HR's office, like, what's this about? We are doing the same job, you're earning this and earning that. And you don't see that with the millennials and all, because we operate in some level of secrecy when it comes to money, which now I find as a disadvantage right now. So in that question of mentoring, I would ask this person to be open about their finances, because the only way you're going to get the help that you need is when you're open. You might think that you're managing your finances very well. But because we don't know, we are speaking speculatively on that matter. I do think the necessity of being open, and being open to the right person. If I'm mentoring you, I will be, okay, so how much are we talking about? How much did you go and spend on this one Friday? How much have you put aside? Like, I would be going down to the details. So I think that's important in this space.
And also, I think for young people, because when you are that young, it's your first job, your first, maybe steady income. Please, either upskill your skill set. Do you get, like, take part of that money and plow it back into yourself, into your skill set or something, or even look for something else that will earn you a coin or two. I mean, look at us here, Marley, and running our TBT podcast. Fine, not yet monetized, but maybe
getting there.
The dream, the vision, everything is there. But the truth is, if even well in our 30s, late 30s here, you still have that drive to ensure, that this is working. I mean, it's time. I just feel that it's time that as Kenyans, we move away from this thing of, I only do this and this is it.
You are a secretary. That's it.
Na tuko na jioni. There's the time from morning before you get to work, weekends. I mean, I just feel that there are other ways that you can expand yourself, and possibly monetize your skill set and all, and without even interfering with your, God knows, maybe your 8 to 5. They can still run properly. They can still run properly concurrently. So I'm a firm believer in that. And even now, being an employer at this point, at this juncture in life, it is something that I encourage
your staff.
Even the young kids around me, by the way, my younger brothers and sisters, like you guys, it's not something that I would frown upon. Yeah. I mean, if say like the happy who supports me with my social media, when she's able to get, say, another gig, even people come and ask me, but Charlene, who does your social media? And I'm like, happy. And I share her contacts, because if you are not in this, like in the evening, you have time. Early in the morning, you have time. Weekends, you have time. So if you are young, you have the time, you have the energy, please, look for another way of ensuring that you can monetize your skill set.
Expand yourself. That is what we are saying.
Yes.
Okay. Because of time, I think we have
2 more to go.
Okay, and we cannot not say
discuss
both. So I think we'll just do quickly. Okay. How do you feel about debt? This is Dream and Thrive. How do you feel about debt?
Yes. Marley, how do you feel about debt? I know you're about to pull up a scripture on us. Are you?
There is a scripture indeed.
On debt?
Debt makes you a slave. It's a very simple thing. It's a slave-master relationship. If you have debt, then you become a slave to your master. You will always be looking behind your shoulders. You'll always be working towards paying off this debt. So I'd say the idea of good debt, bad debt, for me is a very thin line. I honestly think if you can work towards not having debt, I think that's a bit more comfortable life to live.
Honestly, for me, I believe in debt is good.
Okay.
I believe in
good debt.
Good debt.
Okay.
Not that is good.
Okay.
In good debt. Because really, Marley, let's start from
we
the
were going
point
to kill
of...
you. We were going to kill you on socials.
Wanjiko Wakemara would never even have gone into campus if it weren't for help.
Okay.
Let's start from there.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you, when I got my second, like, quote unquote, like, official job, can I call it official job? Because the first one I was really poorly paid. So when I moved to this fund management company where I was earning something decent, I started working on how I could repay my health loan.
Yeah.
And the day I finished my health loan, like I paid, I had saved up about maybe 180K, because that was maybe my balance.
Yeah.
I had penalties that had taken it to something. But when I went with my 180,
you finished the thing.
Wakamaliza yote. I'm telling you, I was so happy. And at the back of my mind, or why it gave me so much pleasure, and why even at such a young age I was able to take a whole 180K and take it back to help, is because I felt that another child would get an opportunity to go through school. Because for me, when I look back at the miracle that was college and the opportunity to go to college, if it weren't for help, I wouldn't have ever seen the doors of college. So really, I believe in good debt. And even as a business person, let me tell you, we cannot survive without debt out here. So I actually do believe that good debt will help you achieve XYZ. Do you get? Like sometimes you actually need that loan to help you do X, Y, and Z, because sometimes you could be planning for life. So if I can borrow from X institution to help me meet, the goals that I have, and I repay them You get, and I'm able to repay in good time. I mean, I'm all for it. Yes. I'm not taking that kwenda kununua sofa set, by the way, Marley.
See,
no.
that's the thing. That's the thin line.
No.
A sofa set can be a very big need for someone.
Hapana.
Actually, can we twist this question to the other? Because I think we've seen it in you taking a debt or I taking a debt. What about you giving? And I know we've addressed it a bit in the beginning.
Yes.
Do you want someone to owe you? Do you want to be in a situation where...
I am not a financial institution. And I would be a very bad microfinance or very bad bank, because I wouldn't even want people to repay me back in interest. Now afinyilia already, now I'm afinyika.
Yes.
I wouldn't do very well in that. But I think if you're borrowing from, say, a SACCO, especially SACCOs.
Yeah.
I'm a big, believer in the SACCO movement in this country, because we have seen SACCOs help people, to put up homes that otherwise would have been very hard to do so. So I really do believe, there's good debt. There's good debt out there. When I see a young colleague in the business go and take a loan and buy a car, something that's really frowned upon.
Yeah.
But that car helps that girl crisscross
and
Nairobi and thick. I'm like, no, that is good debt. Like, you need that.
Yeah.
And it will drive you, because every month you probably know there's a 30K yenye itakatwa from my commissions.
Yeah.
So I must, if my expenses for the month are a sock.
Yeah.
There's also a 30K. So you are working so hard to even, it drives. Some people get it right. They get it right.
And we had this debate. We actually just had this debate on Sunday at
church?
In our church group, and shout out my people.
Yes.
It's something. It's a debate that there's a piece that you lack as well. I'm thinking about you when you're doing your help, when you're paying.
Yes.
This is your first job. You've not even enjoyed your money. It all goes back to paying.
But Marley, if it weren't for help, I wouldn't. Let me tell you my story briefly. Yeah. I finished high school in 2004.
Okay.
I was to go to Moi Uni in 2006. And in 2006, I asked my parents, tunaenda?
Yeah.
And they told me, hakuna pesa.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like, that was meant to be the end.
The discussion is done.
That was meant to be the end of my life or something. And I'm that child who had gone, against all odds. You've gone to Alliance. You've got, out of nothingness. And you get to that point and you can't even go to school. And I remember a few months later, after now I never went to school, the next year in 2007, I went to my auntie. I was looking for my auntie because I wanted her to help me go to Dubai.
Okay.
To look for a job. Because my cousin had gone to Dubai. So I wanted auntie to also fix me at me basi niende Dubai because shule imekataa.
Export you to the world.
And I can tell you, it was only for my auntie because she took me now to UON because they used to fellowship. And then, lakini church ni mzuri. They used to fellowship with the academic registrar.
Yes.
And it is Mr. Waberu who actually taught me during that meeting. He told me the government pays for needy children. And he sent me to Anniversary Towers. Yeah. And he called the people at Anniversary Towers. Waningoja nisaidiwe ni fill forms and there's help. And at the time, because I was doing a small gig at Nakumat Mega, he even told me how I would be saving money because help would not sort everything.
Okay.
You get, I would still need to have some money. Yeah. Let me tell Kai, Marley, that's how I got into Campo.
Okay.
So even by the time I was repaying my debt, I mean, oh my Lord, I was so
there's a joy.
Nilijinyima, hata sikujinyima. I just needed to do it. I needed another child to go through school, by the way. So there is good debt, really good debt.
Okay.
Now you wouldn't have a co-host. Sasa angalia. You would be here. Hi, I'm Marley, the TBT podcast alone. You wouldn't have a co-host, Marley.
But just to mention, not that I haven't had debt, by the way, my convictions about it, that notwithstanding I have had debt, but I've been on a mission to clear my debts. And I had a similar situation to you. When I went to this bank, I had gotten a facility.
Yes.
And I finally had sold an asset, and I was like, I'm done. I went and I told them, here is your money.
Yeah.
And okay. They are like, okay, you can come back.
And take another.
No, they said you can come back later for the statement. Now I'm like, no, I'm sitting here. I am waiting. I need a 000. They finished, got me the 000.
Yeah.
Then the lady comes and I think she was like, this guy must have come through some money or something.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you can take another. My people, I'm done. I am done. I am not taking this. So there is that joy. I agree. There is that joy of freeing yourself from that. Just that the discussion of whether to get into it or not. I think we can.
What's your Fuliza limit, Marley? I'm out do Fuliza. You're like, what? Okay, fine. To the last question of the day. Guys, our money chat game.
Yeah.
Is a card game by the Financial Fitbit. This is not a paid ad or anything. I just think that it's a very engaging card game that can get you having a proper conversation with your loved ones during the festive season.
Yep.
Okay. So the last question, Mali. Do you believe money can buy happiness? Why or why not? Aki pesa ni sabuni ya roho. Aki pesa ni mzuri. But can I tell you something? Even when we were poor, and I mean poor, I think we were still happy. And right now, when we are no longer poor,
you are also very happy.
We're still happy. So money can buy you experiences. Money can help you dream. I dream of my baby Siji going to Oxford, and I work. I look into the future and try factor inflation, and I realize I will need to spend XYZ, in the future. And I show Baba Bima, and he's like, huh? But money helps you to dream. Like money,
it facilitates. It facilitates.
Does.
I do think, for me, the answer to the question is no. Money does not buy happiness. Money facilitates. It facilitates things. The happiness for me is a choice. I've seen that if I'm choosing not to be happy, there are so many situations: brokenness, family, relatives, spouse, children, whatever, work. There are so many situations that can define whether I am happy or not. So it's not just money.
Aki, but Mali, when I went to that spa, I told you about, I was so happy. Oh my Lord. When I was able to take my baby, like on the first day of the school I had in my dreams for so long, I literally cried. Like, you see, I mean, like in money, I just feel.
On the flip side, side, I do think God created us to be wealthy.
Yes.
And in abundance.
Yes.
I don't think God wanted us to stay in a position of not being able to feed ourselves, sort ourselves, because the goal is dominion. The goal is to enjoy the things of this life. And as we have it, money facilitates that. So by all means, if you can make money, make money.
Yes.
I look nice.
I know you look good.
There's something. I think I meet my colleagues in the office and they're like, hey Marley, where do you buy your suits? Where do you like? I'm like, yeah, pesa ni mzuri.
Hey, pesa ni mzuri.
Money is good. If I can make even more, by all means.
Yes.
But the definition of happiness, it defining my happiness, that's where I draw the line. Because if I let money define my joy or the status of my being, then
we could be really sad.
Yeah, we will be really sad because, and I look, it's always a chasing after the wind. You're always looking for what is next. So if that is the goal, then I will never settle to be like, oh, I made this money, I'm going to go to the spa. I'm going to pay 25,000 this weekend and we're going to have a good time. Or I'm going to spoil my baby in this way.
Yes.
Baby.
Oh, baby. Oh. Okay, fine, baby. Or do you mean babe?
Okay.
Because me baby.
Okay, babe. Sawa.
Yes, ni toto bima. Baby ni toto bima. Yes, but I get you.
Yeah.
So, Mali, what do you think of this card game? Honestly, in all honesty, I know this is the first time you're interacting with this game.
Yes. I do think that it's going to go deep. If we do that with our family, for example, it's going to go deep. Probably asking myself if I'm ready to get to those depths.
Yes.
But I do think it's important that we start having these conversations
Yes.
at that level, at the basic level of family, at the basic level of relationships and friendships. That we are not just yay, happy-go-lucky. And it's fun anyway. It's still happy-go-lucky, but with some structure.
Yes.
The pressures, the things that we go through as men, for particularly, I do think that my father, for example, what he's going through, I'm sure wherever he is trying to figure out his family and his legacy, it's not easy. So this can help break the ice to have that conversation.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. So, Lynette, Financial Fitbit, I think it's a 10 out of 10 from us. Thank you. I mean, this has helped us have a really fun episode. I've loved this episode. You know, we've been doing a lot of interview style episodes. So it's really nice, you know, to just have a game night. Marley, we should have more of this.
Agreed.
Yes.
Popcorn, please.
Yes. Happy popcorn on the next one. So thank you so much, everyone. Happy holidays. It's my hope that you are enjoying the Christmas season, festivities, and you're enjoying responsibly, because January nakuja, we are not the people who will be screaming January. No. That is a thing of the past.
Yes.
But then, do you know, Marley, in my 30s, I no longer experience January.
Emisha.
And in my 20s, my Lord,
Shida.
I could barely even get fare to go to work.
Shida.
So, I mean, I hope you are having fun with your loved ones. You are also keeping safe during this festive season.
Yep.
And from us here at the TBT podcast, we are wishing you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and also a Happy New Year.
Yes, as it comes. And until next time,
remember to stay
insured.